Lauren Boebert was present.
Yeah.
Like that, the unfortunate thing is what about the entire thing was her presence, though she didn't get super crazy
Hmm.
per usual. Though, like, why would you?
Right. So we are talking about aliens. And so I just turned the
YouTube on.
YouTube on. So Steve.
So for all of you guys who don't know out there, and you should go watch it because it was fascinating.
Right, I can put that in the chat as well.
Um, there was a hearing this week, the second hearing on UAPs. And they pretty much admitted, yes, there are aliens. Yes, there has been alien, crafts that, you know, have been recovered, that they're lying about like 90% of what we've all thought we were crazy about for just thinking.
Right. I just want to share the screen so you can keep talking, but that's, I think, an important screen, right?
And the fascinating thing about the witnesses to me is that they were all credible individuals with high level, you know, histories in agencies that absolutely would have knowledge about these things. One guy was from NASA, one guy was like from the people that studied like the atmosphere and the ocean, whatever the fuck that's called.
Mhm.
Um, another guy, had worked in the DoD, these were all, people that should be, if they say that this stuff is happening, you should probably trust that it was happening.
Right. That is that whistleblower, David Grush.
I,
Don't know.
I I think he was in the audience, but I don't think he was a witness.
Right. The hearing came more than a year after the Pentagon was accused of having this secret UFO retrieval program by this whistleblower.
Yes.
So they were kind of being called onto the carpet to acknowledge it, and they did, right? They said, "Yeah, we do
Yeah.
have a secret UFO retrieval program," but that doesn't mean they've retrieved any UFOs. That doesn't even mean if they did retrieve UFOs, it means they're alien or extraterrestrial.
Ye-
UFO just means it's unidentified. So, I mean, it's obviously an intelligence issue, but it's not necessarily a galactic issue.
I get the need, to distance yourself from it, because like it sounds a little crazy, but not really crazy if you really think about it from like a logical perspective.
A
The
logical
probability,
perspective, there should be aliens on this planet. That's
absolutely,
logical.
absolutely. The probability that there is extraterrestrial life and they, occasionally check us out and don't want anything to actually do with us makes perfect sense because the probability in a universe as big as ours that there's more life than us
Yeah, Carl Sagan
is
did believe there was life on other planets, but he also reasoned that the vast amount of space between likely civilizations would make the most likely alien quote encounter, if there is one, it would probably be more virtual than it would be in physical. The idea that they would be skipping around and we would not be spotting them is
it also,
is
but you have to think
highly.
Carl Sagan was working like back
Yeah,
in
he was
the
SETI.
70s or
Yeah,
whatever.
he did. Yeah, he worked
since
on
then since then we've made huge amounts of discoveries in physics, including like making like things like warp drive and other, you know, near speed of light, modes of transportation more likely to be possible. You know, just recently there was, a research paper talking about how you could make, like warp drive, like bending space more efficient so that it is more likely to be, feasible in the next 100, 200 years.
Right.
You know, these things aren't entirely out of the reach of higher civilizations. You have to figure we're probably like the bottom rung of civilizations,
Or we could be the last ones left.
or we could be the last ones left. That's highly doubtful, but
Well, that's one of the theories why we haven't met anybody yet. It could either it's
personally,
possible that
I think it's
they might have
because
they might life might destroy itself.
I personally I
That
think
I
it's
thought.
because we as a species suck.
Yeah, that's
We're ignorant, violent.
very Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy of you.
We're ignorant, violent, you know, destructive
Aviators.
creatures who are far too smart for their own good.
I don't know about that, but I also think that isn't that if you ever watch, there's a physicist guy, and he spells out how he is essentially proven that within like 99.9% we're all in a simulation anyway. So I mean,
Well,
why would aliens
are
not
you
pop up?
talking about
That dude, yeah, we I
I'm
forget.
trying to think of what it's
No,
called.
what the fuck do you know? That was a different movie that would been debunked, but this is a different one,
No, I was thinking about the theory that you're talking about.
right?
Holographic universe theory.
Yes. Yeah. But I mean, it's pretty interesting.
It is, but
So,
I don't think he means it in the sense that you were thinking about that.
no.
What I think the theory was talking about was that, like, and I'm trying to remember because it's been a long time since I've read about it. Like I think I read about it in like my freshman year of college.
Mhm.
Um, if I recall,
The universe hypothesis proposes that what humans experience is actually an artificial reality, much like a computer simulation in which they themselves are construct. Could a new law of physics support the idea that we're living in a whatever? But it's
wait, can you
actually,
show me what you're talking about?
I'm at the University of Portsmouth.
No, I know, but can you show it to me?
Yeah, hold on.
Can I see it so that
Cool.
I can?
Determine whether you approve it or not. Okay, university, there it is, simulated. The theory is popular among a number of well-known figures, including Elon Musk. Oh, great. And with branches of science known as for information
Okay, this is a
physics,
different
they
thing that I'm
suggest physical
thinking about.
reality is fundamentally bits of made up of bits of information. And so that's
Th-
kind of this information is that when and then but it's similar. They connected the guy that says it's all key findings, cosmology, info, dynamics, blah blah blah. Information is a fundamental building block of the universe and it has physical mass. So like that's kind of what is the universe a simulation. And that is a very fun video. If I could highly recommend it. But there's lots of fun videos about it, and it's like, whoa, man. But I'm not necessarily, I do not subscribe
I'm
necessarily.
not
I was
read.
just kind of, yeah.
I'm not read up on that specific theory.
Well, it's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of really fun videos about it. And there was a
If that
movie
was not
about
the
it called
theory that
"What
I
the
was
Fuck Do
talking
We
about.
Know?" I think, but it was a more of a religious thing. But anyway, it's a fun. So whenever I don't know what I think I like aliens, like okay, the who knows whoever is running this experiment could throw some aliens in anytime they want. That's fine. I'm already expecting like I was raised in the 80s, so like all the shit in politics going on now with like Tulsi, what's her face, in charge of
Tulsi Gabbard.
yeah.
Oh,
Like I
Jesus
this is the
Christ.
part in the movie where like the hero
If
the
this is a
hero jumps in and
simulation,
goes,
it is
"You're
clearly
all sorry,
broken.
Vlad, not this time." And then the whole everybody goes, right? This is the point in the movie that the Russians get found out and the evil Americans who are dealing with it and overthrowing the country get caught all at once and thrown in jail. But and they'll be like, once I play this tape, the United public, the American public will revolt against you. But now they're like, oh no, that's a great tape. No, that's fine. That's okay. But
If this is a simulation, it is currently broken. We we are experiencing glitches
Oh my God.
in the Minecraft
Oh
matrix.
my God. It sucks. Or whatever it is, like the kids gotten into it or
Did you
something.
try turning it off and turning it on?
Yes, please.
This is
Please,
exactly
whoever's
what we
running
need. We
it,
need to turn it off
turn it
and
off and
turn it
on.
back on
I don't care what
because
happens.
we are fucked at this moment. We are.
Oh,
Do you realize we are putting a credibly alleged human trafficker
yes, and spies.
as attorney general?
Yeah,
We are
yeah.
putting
That's what
the
I'm saying.
guy, the anti-vaxxer guy with a worm brain.
Dude, things fall apart over time, slowly over time, and then all at once. That's what I'm saying,
This
right?
is the
That's
all at
what
once.
I'm saying.
This
That
is the all
we've
at once
entered
right
all at
here.
once.
We've
But
pulled,
things fall apart slowly over time, and then all of a sudden,
we've
all
pulled
at once.
the last the Jenga
It's it.
block.
It's it.
Yeah, seriously, seriously.
And we're just handing it over because we're like, oh, I guess we can't do anything. It'd be wrong if we change the will of the election that has been so interfered with. It wasn't even funny. Some guy was handing out millions of dollars a day. Like, come on. But
I agree, but
we gotta. No,
here's the thing though, like we're a
doesn't matter.
country of laws. And if you believe in that, like you can't,
We
I
don't.
mean,
And there's no law here. There isn't. Trump doesn't have laws.
I
There's only laws. I see no laws here. I see no laws. So I don't understand why we're standing on laws now. I really don't. I
I've
don't
always stood
understand
on this.
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna I'm not this is not
I'm
where I need to be. We're just this is not good. This is
I'm not going to change
get my popcorn.
my opinion simply because, you know, people who don't, you know, adhere to my values. So I'm not going to change my values because, you know, there's a fascist coming in. Like my values are my values and I'm going to stick
Mm,
with my values because
mm.
if I don't do that and I'm being hypocritical, like I diminish the value of
I
those
agree.
like the worth of those
It's
values.
I have something that you've just reminded me something that that inspires me and I appreciate that in you. I very much so. Now, recently, and this really upset me, like it
Mhm.
affected me deeply. A friend of mine, and in fact, more than one person in different separate conversations, we've talked about the state of
This
the
is
world.
why I smoke so
I
much.
know, right? Okay. But this is important because I think I'm very interested when we were talking about it, Steve and I. We really want to know what you think. So, people have expressed like, oh no, they're very progressive to me. These people are we get along politically. And then they'll say, well, it's time to invest in prisons, I guess, because they're going to I got to retire.
That's a shit. That's
One of these
fucking
people was
shit.
a Jewish person, a friend of mine. And to me, it just broke my heart
You
because
you
it's
know
like
what? We
investing in a
got shit.
concentration camp.
Every family has shit people in their family.
Mm,
That's just terrible. Isn't that like what? Okay, so you agree though. That's
Absolutely, that's
okay, thank
shit.
you.
it's an awful thing.
Because it's not time to invest in that. I don't care how much money you can make in your retirement.
No,
That's fucked
I'm
up.
no.
That's fucked
I'm
up.
not
Thank you.
my my morals don't allow me
Yeah.
to do things that actively harm
Right?
people in this way.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't it weird? But isn't it weird when you're with someone and you think you know them and you've always gotten along and you've always echoed each other, we've been there, and then all of a
Was he
sudden they
being
come out with that.
sarcastic?
No, literally, both people were, but this totally serious, 100% like, well, and they literally said, I gotta retire. I gotta retire. I got me to think about. And I was just like,
Wow.
I can't believe it. Like,
Yeah.
what? And like it's like the invasion of the body snatchers now. Like we're gonna be seeing like people we thought we were like. I'm sure you've been through this already, but I'm just
Absolutely.
saying like it's spreading. That whole thing like, oh, I didn't say anything because of this person, so then this is it's happening already. Already we're starting to to align like that. It's
Well, you know what? I've been screaming about this for like the past year
you
or
have
so.
you have
So,
you have
like at the
you have
top of my lungs,
you have.
much to your guys' chagrin, I'm sure,
No,
because
no.
I know I'm very annoying about it.
We've been screaming it too. We've been echoing. We've been doing the best we can. I agree. It's yes. And we've been screaming. Remember when the
Mhm.
whole Antifa shit and George Floyd blew up, and
Yeah.
Trump wanted to use military, but they wouldn't let him. But now they will, so that's going to be fun.
Like I swear, like they are literally putting in like
Yeah, yeah, the worst of everybody.
yeah.
It's like Russia's trolling us, which I really think they are. Steve is right. They're trolling us. I mean, this is Russia. Russia's just moving in, and they're like, ha 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 ha. They're just
I think the
having
only person I've seen out of their entire, you know, cabinet, and it really isn't a cabinet position. It was an ambassador position, was Mike Huckabee. Like
Mm.
he's the only mildly
he's a lunatic.
serious, even if I totally disagree with everything
So at least he's a
that he
politician, as
stands
opposed to like the
for.
Fox
Like,
News guy or the
yeah,
Fox guy,
like,
right?
yeah, how the fuck? What the It's not even like a main guy.
No, just some
It's the
rando.
weekend guy.
Some rando who kissed his ass enough. It's
It
so
is the weekend guy. Like,
The
he
weekend guy.
wasn't even good enough to be on the main show.
well, welcome to the shit show, the United States of poopies.
Yeah, clowns keep coming.
So yeah, this is just bizarre.
Yeah.
It's just bizarre. So whatever. Again, it's so weird to feel like, man, this is totally a movie. This is totally the movie where the guy comes out and saves everything, right? We've been through this
Who's the
movie
guy
before,
though? Who
right?
the fuck is the guy? How do you like who's gonna save us? There is no one going to
No,
save
but
us.
in my head, like this is the movie where like, it's not obviously where we are in the movie, but in the movie and like in the White House, and you like see, oh wait, you're gonna steal this, or hey, wait, you're working with the Russians, and they catch the guy that's working with the Russians, and then everyone's like, whoa, he almost became president or whatever. Like I could see
The
this kind of
difference
movie.
is like Tulsi Gabbard doesn't even hide it. Like
Yeah,
she's openly friends
yeah.
with
Again, it's just well,
Bashar
yeah,
al-Assad,
yes. Yes.
openly,
Oh yeah,
friends with
yes, yes. And
you know,
Elon Musk was meeting with Iran. Like it's
Iran,
like this is
Vladimir
right out in the
Putin.
open. And it's so weird that like there is no break glass in case of fascism button that in the White House. Nothing. There's like nothing we can do. Nothing. And it's just baffles me.
Yeah,
It's
well,
just like a
they thought the three branches would take care of it, but two of them are taking up. Well, now all three of
All
them.
three of them. All three of them.
all three.
So they're all together now. But again, I told this to Carolyn when they wrote this thing that way back, they couldn't have possibly envisioned the fact that
Oligarchs.
you could have oligarchs coming together across the globe
They would have never.
to exert influence
No.
on
No, I mean, I think
I
that
mean, they did it back then.
there were
But
individuals that,
There were countries.
maybe had fears about this
Right.
and expressed those fears. My brain's mush. I'm trying to think of there was somebody who it expressed something about foreign entanglements or something like that.
Oh, right, yeah.
Jesus.
Like
If there's anybody out there who knows.
like one of the founders, you mean?
Yes.
Huh.
Let me see if I can pull this up.
Yeah. Washington's admonition to Americans to avoid foreign entanglements stemmed from his own
Yes.
personal experience. He knew firsthand how costly wars could be and wanted the young nation to maintain a goal of neutrality with all foreign governments as much as possible. That was his farewell address to the people of the United States, which everybody would take to mean pull out of NATO, right?
They probably would.
They would
Yeah.
interpret that.
But I think, in that, like,
Yes.
he hinted, at the power of money,
Yeah.
and influence from a global perspective
Agree.
on, internal politics.
Agree.
Right, and that's a whole emoluments thing.
Yeah,
But-
that too.
but
yeah.
Well, we saw how useless that was.
I know, right?
Right.
Oh, unenforceable. Whoops.
Well, and the other thing, I guess, I think to me, that at first thought on it is like you're dealing with nation states
Yes. Instead of
This is
people.
this is like
This is
individual
individuals,
oligarchs.
yeah.
This is like James Bond villains all coming
Yes,
together.
yes.
Like that kind of shit. I don't know if they
Yeah.
could have foreseen that.
Right.
You know,
That
the
yeah.
No, maybe not, you
interconnectedness
know.
of the globe.
No, you needed to have a country
Yeah.
behind you to have enormous wealth in those days, but not
Right.
anymore. You're right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it's just so weird. So weird. So weird.
We're literally, he's literally putting the foxes,
Yeah.
all of the
Yeah.
foxes
Yeah.
in charge
These
of
are
the
the-
hen house.
Hey,
Get in
Is
there.
Hannity gonna get something?
I
He
hope
should get
so.
some- Should
Get
he
him
be?
in here.
Could he be the press person, spokesperson?
Oh, come on, get him in.
There was they actually did announce who the press person was, but I forget who it was.
Mm.
Peter
there
Ducey.
huh?
Peter Ducey. There used to be somebody I remember seeing in the press pool. I don't know when this was. It was during the Trump administration. They actually had a news conference, and one of the people at the news conference was actually dressed up as the Statue of Liberty.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what
Oh,
station that
Jesus.
was, but if we could make them the press person, I
Oh
would think
yeah.
that would be fantastic. You're answering the Statue of Liberty will now take your questions.
Well, it could be different ones, and sometimes he could be George Washington. Sometimes he could be Jefferson. Maybe.
Oh, that would be
It'd be
great.
great, and he
Yeah.
could answer in character. Ben Franklin. What does Ben Franklin have to say?
Caroline Leavitt. Leavitt.
Leave it.
Leave it. You'll love it. At
It's Leavitt.
I don't know her. That's no fun.
She's
That's no
going to
fun. Get
be
Hannity in here. That's not.
the
Doesn't.
youngest press secretary in history, and of course, she's like a blonde
Of course.
bombshell.
Yes, yes.
Duh.
Trump screwing her. Yes, it's basically the
Well, no, I don't know if he's screwing her. I hope not for her sake, because that makes me want to vomit just thinking about it. But certainly someone who you'd want to. It looks a little bit like his daughter. So,
Well, then we
Okay.
all know.
Now-
Yeah.
Now we know.
his defense secretary pick, I was reading today, was removed from the detail guarding the inauguration of President Biden over security concerns because of his potential connection to white supremacists.
Oh, how lovely.
Fine people.
How nice.
Very fine people.
Let me see if I can. I don't remember if I had this on.
Well, wasn't the defense secretary though? Wasn't he the Fox guy, or what? I thought he was in charge of.
He is the Fox guy.
Oh, okay.
His name was
Hegspeth or Hegseth or something.
Peter Hegseth. Let me see if I can find it. He claimed that it was because of a cross on his chest, but in reality, it was because of a tattoo he had on his bicep that read "Deus Vult," or "God wills it" in Latin,
Uh-huh.
Oh boy.
which is a term often used by white supremacists, particularly Christian nationalists. And it stems from like the First Crusade, which was something that like the Crusaders would often like shout like as a battle cry.
Oh, okay.
But he was removed by as a member of the District of Columbia National Guard.
Groovy.
Yep. Well, that makes sense.
I'm trying not to pay too much attention to it.
It'll-
I'm just letting it like hit me when I need it, and it just makes me laugh, and I carry on. So yeah, this is just ridiculous. It's like so much worse this time because the last time when he was coming in, it was just a total goof, weirdo, like idiot. But now
Well,
we don't know how evil he is. Like we went through all those documents where he was like, "I'm allowed to have him," and he raped, the whole trial where he was all like, Letitia Peekaboo and all that horrible shit that we all had to endure watching him, and now he's just like gets away scot-free. It's really irritating.
Well, that was another thing that I was reading about today.
Ugh.
And now, mind you, I don't think that this is likely to fly. Because I think Trump would pardon himself if it came to it.
Of course he would.
But there's a legal opinion out there, a legal thought out there, um, that's basically goes that the reason why he's winding things down now is so that he can do it on his own terms and get the cases dismissed without prejudice. Or yeah, without prejudice.
So you
Or
can go back
with
to it
prejudice. With
and
prejudice or without prejudice. Yeah, but yeah, so that he can go back to it later.
whatever.
And
Oh,
this would either force, Trump to either, pardon himself, which is legally dubious, at best, or to bring back the cases during his time and have them dismissed with prejudice so that they can't be brought back. The more likely thing that he's trying to do is to put out a report that, releases most, if not all of the information that he had compiled
oh no.
on it, which, you know, isn't justice, and it's certainly,
Nothing. Yes, that
yeah,
does not feel good at all. That
no,
sounds like a shitty form of a shitty and even that doesn't even sound like it's gonna happen. So I don't.
but at the end of the day, we can't blame Jack Smith for
I'm
any.
not blaming Jack Smith. I'm
No,
blaming
I
the
mean,
whole
he
the whole
is.
machine is what I'm blaming.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I
It's just
agree.
sickening.
Yeah, now, we know for sure that there are,
Special treatments.
yeah, that
Yeah.
there's a two-tiered justice
It
system.
obviously is. We saw it played out in front of our eyes, and it's just
We can't, as a society, we can no longer deny this,
yeah,
simple
yeah.
fact.
Well, it's kind of late now. We're all kind of stuck with it now. So
Yeah, of course, of course.
I love how now
Yeah,
people are getting off Twitter. I'm like, really? Took you
really,
now?
now,
Wow, really? You
like it's been a cesspool of
know,
like
right? Oh no,
racism and
now it's too
anti-Semitism for
far.
years.
Yeah, it's been horrible. It's horrible. But all my people follow me there. I can't say goodbye to that. Ugh. Anyway,
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
it is stupid.
It
It's
is.
stupid. This is all stupid. But you do what you can, I guess. It's gonna be bad. Man,
It's gonna
it's
be so bad.
gonna be so bad.
Yep.
But yeah.
I hope it isn't. I hope I'm wrong,
Oh, it's gonna be so
but
bad. It'll be interesting.
What's the
That's the fun part. It will be
do you have
interesting.
that Chilean quote? That was kind of fun.
Oh yeah, where
That's
is it?
anywhere near-
Hold on, let me get it. Yeah, it is probably.
So you're living under an authoritarian.
No,
That's a
that's
thought.
summary. I think it's this. Okay, yeah, here's a good one. There's a YouTube video that I watched. It's really interesting. It was Jon Stewart talking with Heather Cox Richardson. She's a really
Historian.
good historian, and she always puts it into her. She has letters to letters from an American. She writes it's her column in her Substack, and I've been following it. She's just always really good. So someone chipped in with hold on. Jon Stewart, hold on, where is it? One major concern. That's not it, is it? No, this is something else. Oh, hold on. I thought I had it, but I don't. Hold on.
oh, did you see that the Nazis, like the literal Nazis, are already marching through the streets
Oh, I
again?
heard that, yeah.
Where
In
at?
Right.
Any
one
particular
was
city?
in Ohio
Okay.
and Columbus, Ohio,
Yep.
and I'm not sure where the other one was, but it was the same group, and it
Hmm.
was like within like a matter of like a week.
Yeah, good times.
Oh, well, I can't find it.
No, that's too bad.
Yeah, it is. Hold on. Is it here? No. Edit. Sit here. No, that's so weird. How did I lose it? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, wait. No, I don't know, man. We lost it.
Darn ADHD.
Well, I could find it if I just went, hold on. Here, hold that for me.
Yeah.
No, oh my God, they took down the video. Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Ooh, never mind. That's weird.
that was quick.
That's
all right.
bizarre. The link is no longer there.
Oh, I remember what else I wanted to talk about. Did you hear that they're planning on court-martialing all of the people that were involved with the Afghanistan
Oh,
withdrawal?
fantastic. What a great idea.
Uh,
Why not? Don't court-martial the guy that insurrects, but court-martial this. That's a great idea.
But
Fantastic.
he was responsible ultimately for that shit too.
Yes,
Yes.
of course
He's the
he was.
one
That
who
was his plan.
negotiated.
That was
released
his
the Taliban. He
plan.
released the Taliban fighters.
Right?
Yeah.
What are you
I
talking
know.
about? He had him over at Camp fucking David. Might as well have taken a crap there, for God's sakes. Talk about this.
No, I think he
thing.
was going to, but like people called him out for it and he canceled that.
Oh, okay. All right.
But he still made the deal with them in the first place.
Yep. Yep. And didn't include the Afghan government while he was
Nope.
doing it. So you don't think maybe they would have wanted to know about a couple thousand fighters showing up on the frontier? Jesus. Yeah, nobody was more responsible than that guy.
And I love how like he spent the entire last 4 years claiming responsibility for all of the good things that Obama did
Oh yeah.
and the things that Biden did somehow were also his.
Oh, the
Of course.
25, the insulin cap. That was
Yep.
And change
Yep.
it. Sorry, you're gonna get rid of that.
Yeah.
But none of the things that he fucked up were his fault. You know, the economic collapse that we faced wasn't his fault.
No,
You
million
know,
dead Americans.
yeah,
Yeah.
none of that.
Yeah.
None of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And the other thing about the Afghanistan withdrawal, everyone loves to show that one day where people are hanging off the plane and everything. But given that awful day and the strike that killed the some of the Marines, other
At the
than
gate.
yeah, other than that though, they got like hundreds of thousands of people out. I think I read like people that had helped us in Afghanistan. Like it was like a major operation. done under,
Absolutely.
like extreme conditions.
And it wasn't without its flaws. I think there were unfortunately some people that were able to get out of there because of these efforts who had actually turned around and were like planning terrorist attacks here.
Okay. Yeah.
But like, what do you expect in like an operation that big?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Well,
not
that's the other thing the guy did. Trump agreed to an unreasonable timeline. I mean, to do it the right way couldn't have been done in the tight time frame that Trump promised, and that put that administration in a real tight position. Because
it put everyone in like a tight position, like the men on the ground,
yeah,
like everybody.
yeah,
Like that, there was just no way it could have been done in an effective, efficient and safe way
yes, right.
under those conditions.
Well, they did admit that they underestimated or they didn't think it.
Of course, like
But now they admitted it though. Oh, admitted guilt. It's like it might as well be hang him.
every
Not the Mike Pence.
people
gallows.
always underestimate their enemies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
The Israelis underestimated Hamas.
Right.
Hamas either estimated or underestimated the Israeli response. Hezbollah underestimated the Israelis, but Iran underestimated the Israeli responses. Like, that's, what you do. It's not what you should do, but, it is what you do.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to look for find that quote, but anyway, yeah.
Also, how very ADHD of you
Uh,
to hyper
Well, what are
focus.
you looking for?
I was just looking at the Afghan
Oh.
the evacuation.
Yeah.
But the idea of like, court-martialing these people is like so absurd. Like nothing that they did was illegal or violated the UCMJ in any way.
Well, nothing that whether it violates or not is not of the issue. It's is there enough, can they get people excited about it so that they can just do what they want to do and no one's going to complain enough. And that's the trick. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're, I mean, this could be it starts with this is terror, right? You start with going after people and the idea is you make these show things, these show trials and just kind of get people into the idea of blood, like, yeah, yeah, get him, and satisfy that. And then as people protest it, you send out the military or you come down with an iron fist on any protesters against it. So that makes you get rid of those people. And also you make everybody scared because they see it. And so everybody starts obeying ahead of time because they don't want to get smacked. And then that's how you maintain the iron fist that he so admires in China and in Russia.
Bread
We
and
have
game,
elections, but the elections don't matter.
bread and games.
That's it. That's where we are. We are now at this section. We are not going to, you don't get out of this. It's without something without like losing like several thousand people a day for a while before people realize, hey, this is a bad idea. And then we'll
But
see
hey,
what
then
happens.
again, look at Iran,
Right? Look at Russia. They've been, how many decades has this idiot been?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say like they regularly execute
Yeah.
people like for the most insane shit.
Russia, they'll throw people out of the window, right? And people get taken away. They people who come to who protest there, they let a little bit of protest, but largely it's the right wing quote protest. The other people, they get the shit kicked out of them when they hit the street, and a lot of those people get disappeared. It's just a
Well,
thing.
if you remember at the end of the Black Lives Matter protests,
Yep.
there was, people being disappeared.
Yes. Yes. There were, but they reappeared. It wasn't so bad.
No.
But now it
But
can be. Now it will be because we don't have those guardrails that
even going back, though, even going back as far as like the No NATO riots in
hmm
2012,
hmm
um, the house that I stayed in, like, was raided by the police, and multiple people that were staying at that house were disappeared and eventually put on trial for like quote unquote terrorism for like having common household items and like making comments while like excessively drunk. Because that basically like everybody in that house, with the exception of me, was like always fucking plastered.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But that's because I'm the nerd. In every environment, I'm the nerd.
It's a proud badge to wear. I don't mind it. I'm happy to be a nerd.
Did you find the link on it?
I found the link, I just didn't find the
Oh, they comment. Yeah.
yeah, it's buried and there's a gazillion comments as you can imagine.
You
So
can type in chili. No.
Can I?
In the find. I don't know.
no,
Control F. Could you find it?
I was thinking of that. No.
No. Okay. Hold on, Mr. Greg. I know it's the worst. I gotta move my leg.
On positive notes, the Biden administration is doing everything in their power to get out every last possible dime that they can in grants for their climate agenda
Hmm.
and the infrastructure agenda. So Philly may not lose as much money as we would have with this new
That's
administration.
good, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to take the teeny wins, the teeny weeny wins, Otherwise you get into a hopeless spiral of death and
Yeah.
Oh, I'm hopeless. Oh, I'm there.
if you lose hope, they win.
Yeah, that's what the funny thing is that Heather Cox Richardson and Jon Stewart were talking about, and they were like, a hero is somebody that, refuses to, cave in times, refuses to stop trying in, no matter what the, against unsurmountable costs. And I'm like, that's also the definition for insanity, right? So, I don't know, guys.
But there is a little bit of insanity in when it comes to being, when it comes to, achieving greatness. Like geniuses are all have a little bit of crazy in them. That's what gives them the mental space to be able to come up with like in seemingly insane ideas like relativity, you know, or quantum theory, or some economic, theory, that improves everybody's, life. It's also what makes, heroes, what they are. Even the fake ones, you know, even, the, what's the guy from My Hero Academia? Uh, Deku from My Hero Academia. Like, you can't tell me if you've ever seen that anime that kid isn't a little insane.
I don't know
What-
here. Sorry. But
No, you're not.
I agree that
You don't
it's
get to. You're not nerdy enough to be on
sorry.
this
I'm
show.
old though, so it's a different kind of nerd. My nerd is a different.
I'm older. Well, no, I'm not older.
No,
Yeah.
no. I was born in '69, so
Okay, so I'm not. You're a decade old. You're only a decade older than me.
only. Oh, you were banking much more. I gotcha. That's okay. I appreciate that.
That's how old my in-laws are. Older than me. My
Not helping.
in-laws are only.
Keep digging. Oh my God.
So don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. Like that
I
is the only way you survive as an individual mentally without needing to be committed.
right.
And it's the only way we can ever fight our way back from this.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just buying popcorn and buying time until I can figure out what we need to do. It's bad, guys. It's bad. But I mean, hey, again, may you live in interesting times, right? So
That is a
we're
curse,
living,
that is a curse.
it is a
It
curse.
is,
It is
yeah.
a curse.
Mhm.
But we're here, and again, grab the popcorn. Let's hunker in. And when it comes right down to it, when you think about the things that we personally are at risk and unsafe about, it's really there's a lot of other people that are ahead of the hate list, I think. Maybe.
Yeah.
So, and of course, the Russians are going to be spying and doing all kinds of other shit for a while before they pick on us. So,
But honestly, like the main, I think from a global security standpoint, like the main impact of this is the lack of trust
right.
that other countries are going to have.
Yeah. Mhm.
Right. Well, I mean,
You
when
know,
we put oligarchs in charge, your money becomes super unstable because it just kind of goes woo, and your military does too, right? That's what Putin found out, where he was giving oligarchs money to fund the military, and they were just taking the money and not giving, he was giving contracts and they weren't delivering. So,
I was thinking about like, the lack of intelligence sharing because our
Yeah.
former soon to be former
Oh yeah,
allies,
well that too.
soon
There,
to be
yeah,
former
yeah.
allies.
Right. Well, we'll be
You
out of
know,
NATO, right?
yeah. I mean, like we're practically at this juncture
Russia.
can expect
Yeah,
it to be handed to,
yeah,
Russia,
yeah,
Iran, China,
yeah. Yeah,
you
North
they're not
Korea.
gonna be taking care.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be terrible.
Mhm.
And so they're gonna get all our shit. So it's gonna, we'll see what happens on the global. I mean, hopefully that Biden right now is taking all the really important stuff and ferrying it out and, trying to, everyone's
burn
getting
it
their
all,
papers
burn it
back.
all, Biden, burn it
Maybe, everyone's getting their
all.
papers back. Like, I don't know. I mean, he was already in there, so I don't know how much more damage he could possibly do. He already had all that access. I'm sure that they've already, but from here on, they're going, like you point out, they're going to be separate. They're not going to be sharing so much intelligence. Also, with our if we try to go down the whole tariff route, there's going to be corresponding tariffs and corresponding sanctions and stuff. Kind of like the other countries aren't going to be thrilled with that.
This is
Um,
why we're working on growing our own full food in our neighborhood.
yeah, right. Well, yeah. And
Yeah.
well, good luck with that in today's climate. So, they're not going to be helping us with that. In fact, instead of being worried about the climate, they're accelerating nuclear race again. The arms race is supposedly back on. So now pretty soon we're going to be worried about nuclear weapons. So everyone's going to forget about the environment. That's going to be good.
Iran's going to be on the verge, or is on
It
the
is,
verge,
yeah, of
Yeah.
of getting
course.
nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
It's another
Ye-
Trump coup.
Right. Yeah.
He pulled that one off.
Yes, he did.
Thanks.
Good for him. Good for him. He's having fun. They're winning. The
Mhm.
oligarchs are winning. I don't know why. I don't know why he'd want to do this, but all right, all right. And where's our, is Jack Smith gonna come charging out with guns? No, no, okay, never mind.
He's going back to The Hague.
He better.
He,
He better,
yeah,
he fucking
right,
better.
right. Like if he doesn't leave,
Woo!
he's gonna be,
Everybody, yeah. They should have Nick
I would
Nick
have.
Cheney.
I
She
would
should
have.
be, she's in trouble.
Yeah, I would have left on the 6th.
Amen.
oh my
Whatever,
God,
fuck.
Yeah.
so insane. And the reality is that like now that all the numbers are playing, have played out largely,
Mhm.
he didn't win by that much.
No, there's like 3 million votes, just about.
It
Yeah,
didn't win by
less than
pick.
Hillary lost by,
Yeah, well,
which
Mr.
is
Fraud
weird.
frauded. Yeah, Mr. Fraud frauded. I'm sorry, fraud frauded. So I don't even
Which
want
is
to take.
weird
Yeah,
that if you think about this, like Hillary lost or won the popular vote by more than like 4 million votes. But our Trump wins this election by 3 million in the popular vote.
Mhm.
Like, but Hillary lost and Trump wins.
so weird. I'm telling you, whatever.
The math ain't mathin' here.
Well, I thought I also heard that on the down ballots, people were voting. I don't know if it was
Doesn't
swing
make
states,
sense.
but they were going blue. But then on the Trump votes, the state was going red. So I don't understand that.
A
I
lot
I
of
didn't look
places, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's fake. Because something's wrong.
Well,
Mr.
no,
Fraud frauded.
that's something that happens like regularly. A lot of people split their vote,
Yeah, no.
Mhm.
believing that, um, they want to have like checks on power,
Right.
but in reality, they end up just like screwing everything up.
I
Same with the
don't know.
people that, did the whole, what was that called?
Ballot swapping or ballot.
Ballot swapping or
Yeah,
whatever,
I know what that was.
like
That was silly.
whatever ridiculous nonsense that was.
That was silly.
Like so stupid.
That was stupid.
yeah,
So
yeah.
stupid. It's all so stupid. And it was so interfered with. It was so interfered with on so many levels. I'm just so angry, but whatever. It's okay. That's what they want. Have it.
It's not okay,
know.
but you have to deal with like reality the way it is.
I know. I know. I don't like reality anymore. I'm mad at
I
reality.
haven't liked reality in many, 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 many,
Where can
many,
where can
many
I exchange
years.
this reality for a better reality? I don't like this one.
But yeah, and I tell John I tell John this all the time. You don't have to like the way things are, and you can work to change them, but you have to accept them the way they are. In the sense that you have to acknowledge that things exist, and in his case, I'm talking specifically about like requirements to do homework and like
Right.
things that you have to do,
Sure.
as a kid. For us, I'm talking about we have to acknowledge that these things are what they are.
The world we are in.
Yeah. And deal with those consequences and try to mitigate, their impacts on our community. You know, we joked about, climate change and whatnot, and not being able to grow food, but like that's something that we really need to focus on. And we should have been focusing on this for a long time. Like, especially like up in Germantown, where it's somewhat of a food desert, not,
Mhm.
But it's so hard. They make it so hard, and we're all working so hard, and we don't have all the time in the world. I mean, just imagine you're asking like people that
put
are
the little fuckers to work.
it's not easy. It's not easy. And it's
When I was a kid,
there's
I
finesse
had to
when it comes
fucking
to
work.
yeah, but there's finesse. Gardening is not easy. Gardening is actually it's simple, but it's not easy, and it's subject to a lot
So what?
there's
You
bugs,
know
there's
what's not
weather.
easy?
We had drought
Carrying
this summer.
a telephone pole from one end of our property to the other to use as a fence post for a 10-year-old. That's not fucking easy either. But I did it because I didn't have a choice. And these kids today don't have a choice. If you want food on your table, if you want to not starve, you need to fucking stop being a bunch of lazy little pricks, little entitled pricks.
They're really
I love you all to death, but your
they're really
parents are
gonna
out there working.
yeah, but you think gardening is going to be
I think that's going to be part of it.
You think a kid's going to be able to, you're going to be able to raise a kid on like, how many potatoes can you grow in a plot? Like,
I'm not even
if
talking about
greenery
potatoes. I'm
doesn't
talking.
have protein, you're going to eat chickens, and it's illegal to have chickens. It's illegal to have animals that you can eat here. You're not
Is
going to
it?
yes, it is. Backyard chickens are still not allowed.
Really? Because
Yeah.
I
You will have them. There are here and there that
I
people
was to say, I actually
call.
have a neighbor not very like up the street from
Yeah,
me
yeah. We
that
have one here.
has
We have them here
backyard
too.
chickens.
Yeah, yeah, we have them here too. But I belong to a backyard chicken group because I'm nosy and I like to know about chickens. And occasionally people will write in and be like, "Oh no, my neighbor just turned me in, so now I got to get rid of my chickens," and they have to
Aw.
so it does happen.
That does
But my
happen.
point is that if they want to, they can because you're not going to sustain a family on a plot of land. It's hard. Vegetables are not nutrient high. You're going to need potatoes. You're going to need and that takes a lot of land, and that takes,
I'm
that
not saying
takes
that
a
it solves
while.
all of the problem, but
No.
it's certainly a step in the right direction and
Yeah.
a supplement.
I love the idea of sustainability, but I feel like it's hard. It's like reverse engineering. This area has been is generationally made for people to be dependent on outside sources and at subsistence level, and it's really hard to reverse engineer that, I think. But
You're right,
to
and
your
I'm not
point,
saying
you
it's
gotta
going to be
try. To your
easy.
point, there's no harm in trying, right?
I'm not saying it's going to be easy.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Or like you plant a tree now, maybe it's 4 or 5 years before it gives you apples. But if you don't plant it today, then it's going to be even longer before you get apples. So you might as well plant the goddamn tree now. I get it. Like I do get that, and I appreciate you're lifting us up here when we're dragging you down.
I'm lifting myself up. Fuck y'all. Y'all live on the other side of the city right now. I'm trying to lift myself up. Trying to lift my neighborhood up.
Y'all deal with your own stupid neighborhood.
Y'all live in the rich part of the city anyways.
That's true. We can get. I'm gonna hunt and kill my own deer. Mm.
I'm relegated to squirrel and raccoon. Awesome. So, but I
Squirrels and
do have
rats.
plenty of them.
Merlin.
Pigeons. Mm.
Ooh,
This
I'm not eating sky rat.
sky rat.
That is a bridge too far.
I don't know. They don't need as much garbage.
Raccoon, squirrels, possums.
Okay, all right. Possums.
Go straight redneck. Go straight hillbilly on them.
Okay, well, next
like
week
there's
we
not
can have
enough now.
recipes. Huh?
It's not like there's not enough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's plenty of
yeah.
them. And
Yeah,
they're chubby.
Yeah, next week we
There's
can
some big ones. There's
Big
one that's like
squirrels.
this freaking big, man.
Oh, yeah.
Squirrel?
No,
Oh,
raccoon.
good. I was
He's
gonna
like
say.
this big. Squirrels aren't.
Honey, you
squirrels
raised your
aren't
hand. Look at that.
bad. Oops. How the hell did I
could-
do that?
Can you put your hand, do it again.
Does it
Make it
automatically
go
do that?
away. Make it go away and then put your hand up again. See what happens.
I
Let me
don't.
try it.
I can't see you. We can't.
Okay.
Lower hand.
Use my hand.
Huh.
No.
No.
I
No.
thought because you did that, but I guess you hit the button instead.
But what button?
I don't know, but that was really cool.
That'd
You
be-
waved your hand, and it's like Corey is waving his hand, and I was like, "Wow,
I have no fucking clue.
I don't either."
No clue.
Ah, that's so cool. All right, so
All right.
um,
Well,
okay.
it's that time.
it is.
And we had some fun today. We talked about aliens. We talked
did.
about
Squirrels,
squirrels and raccoons and
gardening and
gardening.
gardening and pedophiles slash
Oh yeah,
traffickers,
we did. Popcorn.
running the people that are meant to stop pedophiles and human traffickers.
Yeah, and put them in. Give them the keys. Let them do it. It's great.
I don't know how it could get much worse or much better at the same time.
But we'll see,
Yeah.
because by next week, I'm sure there'll be more.
There will
amazing
be more
things there.
crazy
Yeah.
this week, and I will try to pay more attention to the crazy.
I shall as
And
well.
I will read that Pentagon report, the latest Pentagon report. 'Cause
Excellent, excellent.
I heard there were 300 more
Ooh.
uh things that they released,
Mhm.
but they tried to like debunk all. They gave all the ones that were debunkable.
That's it.
That was my understanding.
Mm,
So we'll see what's in there, and I'll
Yep.
come back and
yeah.
we'll talk more about aliens. Can the aliens please come save us? I know.
Right.
I would love
Doc,
that.
Right. Or just destroy us all and start over. Like, I'm game.
please,
Let's do it.
just
All together.
For
We'll all
our
go
sake.
together when we go. That's an inspiring song.
for the universe's sake.
All right.
Do you really want us out in the universe,
Right?
aliens? Do
Really?
you really?
Do yourself a favor.
They've already had us
We're
out
like
there.
gremlins. We're like gremlins.
We're gross. And we're just going to try to populate Mars. I mean, just stop us before we,
Please,
right?
Just-
Just stop us.
don't let Elon Musk populate Mars.
Just stop us right now, please. Ew, gross.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Taylor Swift. He's going to be like, come here, honey.
Oh, that's so gross. I
Uh-huh.
forgot all about that.
I
And
know,
like,
man. He's going to be.
you
he's gonna
just
be so
reminded me of
gross.
that and how icky I felt then and still feel.
Yeah.
He's going to be the secretary of impregnation or something like that.
Oh,
Like, it's
Jesus.
going to be
Disgusting,
disgusting.
yeah.
Anyway, on that note, now I
Did
gotta take a
did you hear
shower.
what he's calling their government agency?
No.
Doge.
Oh, right, Doge, because the dog.
Doge.
Yeah, because I'm surprised he didn't call it X.
Well, I think it ended up with like a matching acronym, but
Oh,
it's so ridiculous
It's
and
just like
childish.
it is. It is. He's like a teenager. He's like a 14-year-old boy. He thinks he's like the funniest guy ever, and it's
It's
just,
like he's like a 14-year-old boy who's like a nerd
Yes.
in school
yep,
and trying to
Yep.
impress
way
everybody.
trying way too hard. Yep, and no one really likes him, and he knows it. It's just awful. Anyway, on that, we have to. I have to go beat my head into a wall. So I'm feeling the throbbing, the gobbling coming back. So we're gonna have to take care of that.
Alrighty.
It's been a pleasure.